Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside World War Africa. This is a game designed by Javier Romero and published in Modern War Magazine, issue number 52 from March-April 2021. I know a lot of people are not big fans of magazine games. I've always had a soft spot for them. Yeah, they have some issues. There's some development issues with a lot of them, but occasionally you find some real gems. Not sure how this one plays yet, but I will find out when I get it on the table. One of the things I've always loved about magazine games is they really do give you a chance to look at some unique games that you're not going to always see in a box game. There's not a lot of games out there on the conflicts in Africa, so when I saw this, I definitely had to pick this one up. So let's set up the map and take a closer look at the game. And here's a look at the map that comes with the game. I'm going to show it straight up so that way you can see all of the countries that are involved, and then I'll turn it sideways so you can see a better look at the charts and tables at the other side. In the center, we have the Republic of Congo, and that is going to be the primary focus of the game. There are other satellite countries around that, and this game, it really concentrates on the second war fought over the Congo by two coalitions of African countries. The two sides in the game, one will represent the rebels, the other player will represent various government forces. Rebel player controls forces of a coalition of East African countries, namely Rwanda, Uganda, and Burundi, and their local proxies, the MLC and the RDC. The government player controls the Congolese armed forces and the coalition of African countries, including Angola, Zimbabwe, and Chad, among others. And you can see it's very easy to read all of the boundaries on the map, as well as the hexes. They're nice big hexes, so going to be easy to read and situate yourself during the game. And looking at it sideways, you have the various tracks as well as the tables that you'll be using during the game. At the top, you have the Zimbabwe available box, and at the bottom here, you have the Angola available, as well as the Katoma Air Base box. Now we'll take a look at the counter sheet that comes with the game. We have the pro-government forces at the top, rebel forces at the bottom, and that carries over to the top on the right-hand side. Below that, you have the administrative counters that you'll be using throughout the game. And these use the standard three numbers: attack, defense, and movement on each of the unit counters. And we'll take a look at the rules. This is a 16-page full-color rulebook. On the front, we have the table of contents, and we get to the introduction, which sets the stage for the conflict, which was from 1998 to 2001. The game scale is explained to you, as are the sides that were involved in the war. And we get to the components, the game map, the unit counters, an explanation of how to read the counters, and the different units that are in the game. The markers are also explained to you on page 3. Then we get to the setup and hex control. And there is a setup. There are setup cards that are actually in the middle of this book, which we'll get to. On the back of these cards are the setup instructions, and then on the front is where you're going to be using the holding boxes to set your units up in. Then we get to the sequence of play on page 4, activations and how those are handled, as well as stacking. Movement is explained to you. There are multiple types of movement. And before we get too far into that, this is the back of the player aid card for the rebel player. And then these are the holding boxes for the rebel player, same for the government player, and then the explanation for the government player setup. You have different types of movement, like I was saying: road movement, river movement, air transport, PMC air transport, helicopter transport. So there's multiple ways of moving your forces in this game. Then we get to the combat, and that's all explained to you. Advance after combat, Rwandan rebel infiltration markers, random events, and how those are handled, as well as purchasing units, Zimbabwe Chad contingent, DRC contingent, the Angolan Namibia contingent, and then the rebel contingents. Zones of control and supply, support markers, the Rwandan air defense marker, weapons cache markers, and then the rebel victory points. And then on the back, we have the random events list that'll be in use during the game. And that is a look at everything you get inside of World War Africa. This is a game designed by Javier Romero and is published in Modern War Magazine, issue number 52 from March-April 2021, and it is available now. As I said before, I understand not everybody is into magazine war games, and for good reason. There are some development issues with a lot of these games, but there are also some real gems out there, which is why I like playing them. On top of the fact that they're generally fast-playing games, and they explore subjects that are not really represented very well in a lot of boxed war games. Africa is one of those regions that has gone through terrible conflicts, and there's not enough games exploring that region, I think. So when I see one, I definitely want to pick that up. And when I saw this was available, I grabbed it. And that's why I want to share a look inside with you guys. But looking forward to getting this one on the table and seeing how it plays, and also seeing how it covers a very complex set of conflicts here in this region. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. Do you have any comments or questions? Post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.